Have you ever felt something, an invisible force, watching over you when no one else was around, like a quiet whisper in the wind, or a sudden warmth on your skin in the middle of a cold room? It doesn't make sense logically, but deep down, something inside you knows it was real. That feeling wasn't just your imagination, it was presence. Something sacred, something divine, and maybe, just maybe, it was an angel standing right beside you. Life has a strange way of making us feel alone. We walk through storms, we carry wounds that nobody sees, we smile in public and cry in private. Sometimes, it feels like no one truly understands what we're going through. But what if that pain, that moment when you were about to break, wasn't the end of your story? What if someone, unseen but real, was standing next to you the whole time, shielding you, whispering, "Keep going, you're not alone"? There are moments in life that can't be explained. Near misses, perfect timing, signs we ignore because we're too busy trying to survive. But they were never random. They were reminders, messages from the unseen world to let you know you are being guided, you are being protected, and you are being loved by something far greater than you can imagine. Most people never talk about this. They're too afraid of being judged or misunderstood. But deep within, they know there was something special about that moment, that feeling, that energy. And when you pay attention, when you become still enough to notice, you begin to see that these signs were never accidents. They were gifts. You are not alone in this world. No matter how heavy your heart feels, there is a reason you're still here. There is a reason you survived what you thought would break you. You were being watched over. You were being carried through the fire. And even when you didn't feel strong enough to keep going, something stronger than you stepped in and gave you the strength. That strength, that sudden peace in chaos, that was no coincidence. There is something profoundly powerful about realizing you are not walking through life unprotected. It changes your posture. It shifts your mindset. Because when you truly believe that angels walk beside you, you stop begging for help and start listening for it. You stop doubting your worth and start recognizing the signs that have been placed all around you. But the world has taught us to ignore these signs, to doubt the unseen, to rely only on what we can touch, measure, and understand. And yet some of the most life-changing moments can't be explained. They can only be felt. That moment when you felt a calm rush over you during panic. That time you changed your mind last second and avoided disaster. That dream that felt like a message. These weren't coincidences. They were confirmations. Confirmations that you're being guided towards something greater. This world is loud. It's easy to miss the whispers. But those whispers carry truth. And those who learn to listen, to feel, to trust, experience life differently. They walk with grace. They carry strength not their own. They find peace not because life is easy, but because they know they're not walking through it alone. You felt it, haven't you? That nudge to turn around. That thought that suddenly made everything clear. That unexplainable peace after crying yourself to sleep. We all have. And if you're honest with yourself, you know those moments weren't random. They meant something. You were never abandoned. You were being held. Some people call them angels, others call them guides. But no matter the name, the truth is the same. There is a force of love that surrounds you, a presence that steps in when you've got nothing left, a light that shows up when all you see is darkness. And once you open your heart to that possibility, you begin to see the signs everywhere. There's a reason you're watching this right now, a reason this message found you, because something inside you is waking up, a part of you that's been silently waiting for confirmation. And here it is. You are protected. You are seen. You are guided. Stay with this message, because by the end of this, you won't just believe in angels. You'll realize they've been beside you all along, and once you see the signs, you can never unsee them again. They are around you right now, waiting for you to notice, waiting for you to listen. Even in your darkest moments, when silence surrounded you and hope felt distant, something was standing guard. Maybe you didn't see it. Maybe you couldn't feel it through the weight of your pain. But it was there, a quiet force, unshaken by chaos, whispering strength into your soul when you had none left. That gentle nudge to keep going, that tiny spark of courage that rose inside you when everything else fell apart. That wasn't just you. That was presence. That was protection. There's a reason you've made it through what others couldn't. a reason you still wake up every morning, even when your heart feels heavy, because there's a greater purpose for you, and someone, unseen, unwavering, has been guiding you toward it. Not every battle was meant for you to fight alone. Some were fought for you without your knowledge. Some storms passed over you, not because you were lucky, but because something stood between you and the damage. That's not coincidence. That's divine interference. Human psychology craves evidence. We want proof. We want to see, touch, measure. But not everything that matters is visible. Some of the most powerful truths are felt, not seen. And the soul knows when it's being protected. That intuition, that gut feeling, that sudden peace during panic, those are the quiet signs we've been taught to ignore. But they're the exact moments that tell you, you are not alone. When the mind is overwhelmed, the spirit steps in. That's when angels draw closest. They don't come with thunder or lightning. They come with stillness, with clarity, with strength disguised as calm. And when you stop, when you breathe, when you become quiet enough to notice, everything changes. Because you begin to see life differently. You start to trust the timing. You start to feel the guidance in the silence. You've been protected in ways you may never fully understand. But the truth remains. Your presence here is not an accident. Your life has meaning. And someone has always known that even when you didn't. Not all angels have wings. Some arrive as energy, as warmth, as a shift in the air when you need it most. They don't need words to communicate. Their presence is enough. You feel it when you suddenly calm down after crying. You sense it when you're standing in the middle of confusion and clarity washes over you without explanation. That's when you know something bigger than you is stepping in. You don't have to believe in religion to believe in guidance, because this is deeper than belief. It's recognition, a knowing that arises not from the mind, but from the soul. Your spirit remembers. It knows when something is protecting you. That's why even in your hardest moments, you didn't fully collapse. Something inside you kept going, kept breathing, kept hoping. That strength was given. That was grace moving through you. So often we seek answers in the outside world. We scroll, we search, we ask others for advice. But the real guidance comes from within. It's that still small voice that says you're safe, even when nothing around you makes sense. It's that inner nudge to leave, to stay, to wait, to move. That's how angels speak, through feelings, through timing, through signs that only make sense in hindsight. You're not imagining it, you're tuning in. You were never meant to walk this world alone. Even when people left, even when love disappeared, even when support vanished, something stayed. That something has never left you. It's been with you through every tear, every setback, every silent scream, and it's not finished with you yet. When you start to acknowledge these moments, something shifts inside. Your fear begins to fade, your doubt grows smaller, and your faith in life becomes unshakable. Not because everything is perfect, but because you know you're not navigating this alone. That knowledge changes how you live. You start to walk with your head higher, your heart open, and your spirit anchored in something greater. Because once you realize you've always been guided, you stop fearing the unknown. There are moments when you feel something shift around you. You could be sitting alone, lost in thought, and suddenly a wave of peace washes over you. It doesn't come from logic or reason, it just happens. A warmth that fills your chest, a calmness that silences your overthinking. That is not random. That's presence. That's energy stepping in when your spirit needs rest. Our bodies are incredibly sensitive, more than we often realize. The human nervous system reacts not only to sound and sight, but also to energy. When an angel is near, your body knows before your mind catches up. That sudden chill across your arms, that warmth around your shoulders, that flicker of emotion that comes out of nowhere. These are not to be ignored. Your body is trying to tell you something, someone is near. You may call it intuition, but it's more than that. It's connection. A moment where the physical and the spiritual briefly touch. You're not imagining it. When the air feels heavier or lighter, you're not wrong for feeling emotional without a clear reason. Sometimes that's how angels speak. Through sensations, through presence, through silence that says more than 1,000 words. The human mind searches for logic, but the soul speaks through feelings, and in the quiet moments when you're not distracted, when you're not rushing, those feelings rise. That's when you notice the signs. That's when you remember you are not navigating life alone. Every goosebump, every wave of warmth, every unexplained calm is a reminder that the unseen is real. What would change in your life if you trusted those feelings? If you stopped brushing off those chills and started seeing them as reminders that you're being watched over, that you are never without guidance, you are not abandoned, you are not invisible. Your journey is being seen and your pain has never gone unnoticed. There is protection around you, closer than you think. And when you choose to believe it, everything inside you begins to rise. Sometimes the universe speaks in patterns. You start noticing the same numbers again and again, on the clock, on receipts, on license plates. 111, 333, 444. At first, it seems like a coincidence, but the more you see them, the harder it becomes to ignore. These aren't just numbers, they're messages, gentle signals from something beyond what the eye can see. They're reminders that you're being guided, that the path you're on is being supported by something greater. Your mind might try to rationalize it, but your soul recognizes the pattern. Because deep within, we all seek reassurance. We all long to know that we're on the right track, that our struggles are not wasted, that our steps are leading somewhere meaningful. And when you start seeing repeating numbers, it's not to be dismissed. It's your signpost. It's the universe tapping you on the shoulder, saying, keep going, you're not lost. Numbers carry vibration, just like thoughts, just like emotions. Repeating numbers often appear when you're aligned, when your energy is shifting, or when you're about to make a decision that matters. They show up to give you confidence, to calm your overthinking, to remind you that you are not walking blind. There is a plan, even if you can't see the whole picture yet. People who walk through life awake start to notice these signs. And once you notice, you can't unsee them. Every time 1111 flashes across your screen, it's not just time, it's timing. Every time you glance up and see 222 or 555, it's not chance, it's alignment. These signs come when your energy is ready to receive them. And if you've been noticing them more lately, it means something inside you is awakening. You were never meant to rely on willpower alone. That's why the universe leaves clues. That's why the divine whispers instead of shouting. Because those who are willing to pay attention, those who feel the pull, will always find the signs they need. All you have to do is stay open, trust the rhythm, and believe that the guidance you've been praying for might already be showing up in ways your heart understands, even when your mind doesn't. Sometimes the smallest things carry the deepest meaning. A feather on your doorstep, a coin in the middle of your path, something so simple, yet it stops you in your tracks. It feels out of place, but somehow just right, like a soft echo from something beyond, reminding you that you're not walking alone. These are not ordinary moments. They are sacred, subtle signs sent to reassure your heart and calm your spirit. When you find feathers where they don't belong, or coins that seem to appear out of nowhere, don't just walk past them. Pause. Feel. Ask yourself what you were thinking about just moments before. Often these signs show up when you're overwhelmed, when your heart is heavy, or when you've silently asked for help. It's not the object that matters, it's the timing. It's the message wrapped in the ordinary that says, I'm here, I haven't left you. Human psychology finds comfort in patterns. We're wired to search for meaning, especially when we're in pain. That's not weakness. That's the soul's way of staying connected. These small signs speak directly to your inner world, to the part of you that craves reassurance, guidance, and love. And the truth is, when you open your heart to these moments, they start to happen more often. Not because they suddenly appear, but because your awareness deepens. You begin to walk differently, more tuned in, more alert to the spiritual language of life. And it's in that awareness where you find strength. When the world feels too loud, these signs offer silence. When everything feels uncertain, they offer certainty, not through logic, but through feeling. a quiet peace, a soft knowing, a reminder that you're being looked after. The feather you found wasn't just nature. The coin you picked up wasn't just luck. They were gentle markers on your path, clues that something divine is nearby, walking with you step by step. You're not being ignored. You're being guided, always, even in the smallest, quietest ways. There are nights when you close your eyes and the world doesn't fade away. Instead, something deeper rises, a dream that feels more vivid than anything in your waking life, a presence that lingers even after you've opened your eyes. You can't explain it, but you remember the feeling, the peace, the message, the strange familiarity of someone or something trying to reach you through the quiet of your sleep. That was no ordinary dream. That was guidance. Dreams are the language of the soul. When your mind is finally still, your spirit speaks. And that's often when angels choose to communicate. They know that in waking life the noise is too loud, the distractions are too constant. But in sleep, the veil between the physical and the spiritual is thinner. Your heart is more open. Your defenses are down. That's when the messages come. You might dream of someone you've lost and feel their love so vividly it makes you cry. You might hear words you didn't expect, feel hands you can't explain, or wake with a clarity that wasn't there before. These dreams are more than imagination. They are moments of connection, a reminder that what's gone is never truly lost, that those who guide you aren't far. They're closer than ever, watching, whispering, protecting. The human brain processes memories and emotions during sleep, but your spirit processes meaning. And sometimes the most important messages don't come through conversation or books. They come in stillness, in a dream that leaves you with peace, in a vision that reminds you to trust again. When you start paying attention to these dreams, your inner world begins to open. You feel less alone. You wake with more confidence, more direction, more strength. Because deep down, you know something holy met you in the quiet. Something that wanted you to remember that you're loved, you're guided, and you're never truly asleep to the ones who protect you. There are moments when everything feels like it's falling apart. You're drowning in confusion, paralyzed by fear, unsure of what to do next. And then, without warning, it happens. A sudden calm, a thought that cuts through the chaos like light through darkness, a deep knowing that rises within you, almost as if the answer was quietly placed in your heart. That moment of clarity, that unexpected peace, is not just your mind settling. It's something more. It's divine guidance stepping in when you need it most. You don't always realize it at first. The world around you might still be in turmoil. Nothing externally has changed, but inside you feel different, focused, directed, as if someone whispered the next step into your soul without saying a single word. That's how angels move. They don't always show up with signs you can touch. Sometimes they simply align your thoughts. They soften your fear. They clear the fog. Human psychology searches for certainty, but true strength comes not from knowing every outcome, but from trusting the next move. And when you feel that inner clarity during the most confusing times, it isn't luck. It's protection. It's alignment. It's evidence that you are not being left to figure it all out alone. The mind can only take you so far, but the spirit, when supported by divine presence, can take you further than you ever imagined. That one inspired idea, that unexpected solution, that change of heart. These are the echoes of angelic influence guiding your path quietly and powerfully. When you begin to trust those moments, life becomes less about control and more about connection. You stop forcing and you start flowing. You stop panicking and you start listening. Because now you understand, clarity doesn't always come from logic. Sometimes it comes from above. Sometimes it comes from within. And when you receive it, it's not by accident. It's a sign that you're being led, even when the world around you is standing still. There are times when you hear something, but no one is there. A voice, a whisper, a single word that seems to echo through your mind at the exact moment you need it. It doesn't come from outside, it comes from within, yet it feels foreign, gentle, familiar, comforting. It might be a warning, it might be encouragement, but it always arrives with timing too perfect to ignore. That is not imagination, that is presence. We're taught to silence that voice, to explain it away, to stay grounded in what's visible and logical. But the soul knows the difference between noise and guidance. That quiet whisper you heard while standing in fear, that sudden voice that said, "You're safe," when you were breaking down. Those aren't accidents. That's how angels speak, not through shouting, but through stillness. Not to the ears, but to the heart. Psychologically, the human brain processes an endless stream of thoughts each day. But the thoughts that stand out, the ones that feel louder, clearer, and filled with emotion, those come from a deeper place. They bypass logic. They go straight to your spirit. And when that happens, you can feel the truth in them, even if you don't understand how or why they arrived. You've had moments where you changed your mind at the last second, took a different road, paused before speaking, walked away instead of engaging. Later, you realize that decision saved you. That voice didn't come from fear, it came from love. And love never misguides, it protects, it leads, it heals. Learning to listen to that voice is one of the most powerful shifts you can make. It means you're no longer just reacting to life. You're tuning into it. You're letting your soul speak louder than your doubts. And in that space of quiet awareness, you'll realize you were never thinking alone. You were being guided by a presence that never leaves your side. Even when the world is silent, that voice remains. Always gentle, always present, always guiding you back to yourself. There are moments in life when something miraculous saves you without any clear explanation. A sudden change of plans that prevents disaster. A last-minute delay that keeps you safe. An unexpected help arriving just when you thought you were alone. These moments feel like luck, but they are so much more. They are acts of unseen protection. Signs that you are being watched over by forces that care deeply about your journey. When you look back on your life, you might realize how many times you were saved by what some would call coincidence. Near misses that should have ended badly, yet somehow didn't. Moments when everything aligned perfectly, even when nothing made sense. These aren't random. They are evidence that you are not navigating this world by chance. Psychology teaches us that our minds seek patterns to make sense of the world, but there are moments when the patterns are too precise, too perfect to ignore. These are moments of divine timing, when something greater steps in to shift your path. It's as if an invisible hand gently guides you away from harm and toward growth. Gratitude is the bridge between noticing these moments and truly believing in them. When you start thanking the universe for the near misses and the quiet interventions, you open yourself to seeing even more signs. You begin to trust the unseen forces working on your behalf. You were never left to fight alone. Even when no one else was there, something powerful was standing between you and what could have broken you. That protection didn't disappear. It's still here, still working. When life feels overwhelming, remember these moments. Remember that you have been saved before, and you will be saved again. You are surrounded by unseen love and care, moving silently to keep you safe, to guide you forward, and to remind you that you are never truly alone. Look back on your journey and ask yourself, how many times have you felt guided without even realizing it? How many moments of doubt were followed by sudden clarity?